And then I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'm going to give you a $0 bond.
Okay. Objection, Your Honor. I would like for the record, I reserve my right not to be compelled to perform on any contract, commercial agreement that I didn't enter knowingly, voluntarily, intentionally, and I furthermore do not accept any liability or compelled or otherwise for any contracts that I did not know that I became a part of because of a license or anything else, Your Honor.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel. No one is above the law. Today, we are back to deal with sovereign citizen, Mr. Christopher Gray. We shared a couple of his appearances here on the channel, and now we have a third appearance for Mr. Gray. So we're going to be sharing not all three appearances. We're only going to be sharing his second and third appearance. If you do want to see his first appearance, I will have a link down in the description where you can check that out. We actually shared his first and second together, so you can go back and just watch his first there. If you want to then come and watch 2 and 3, or watch 2 and 3, go back and watch his first. However you want to do it, it is up to you, but we have his second and third here. So listen, let's go ahead and roll the footage.
What is your date of birth, Mr. Gray?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. 72 is my date of birth. I have a.
Can you say that again? Go ahead, say what you're about to say.
I have a motion before the court, Your Honor.
Let me first start. Do you need a lawyer, sir?
No, Your Honor.
City of Detroit versus Christopher Gray. State your name for the record, please.
Christopher Lamar Gray.
All right, today is the date and time set for a pretrial, and then there's warrants on the other matters. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'm going to give you a $0 bond. And I'll recall the warrants. What is your motion, sir?
I have a motion to strike and dismiss.
What are the bases?
Basis of federal rules of civil procedure. Number one, there's no claim. There's no ratification of the claim.
There is a claim. There is a. You want me to read out I waived the reading of the information. You want me to read the allegations that have been made into the record? Do you need me to do that?
No, I don't. No, I don't, Your Honor.
I deny your motion on that basis. What else do you have to say?
What else? You deny my motion because of what, Your Honor?
Yes.
There is no real.
I deny your motion because there is a and this is criminal procedure, not civil procedure. But I denied your motion because there is an allegation here.
You're saying, Your Honor, you're saying this is a criminal matter?
Yes.
Okay, well then we need the corpus delecti. And so that's what I'm asking for. If there was a criminal matter, basically what you're telling me is that something has happened, someone has either been damaged or someone has been or either someone has been damaged or someone has something has been come up missing. And if that's the case, then that means that there is a crime. And if there's a crime, then there is the what do you have that's saying that I did the crime? What you're saying that I created this crime that hurt this person, and if I hurt this person and I created the crime, then a third thing that you have to have is the identification of the person. You have the identification of the person, which is me, but you don't have a person saying that they were hurt or damaged, or the crime that's saying what I did to hurt or damage the person. So how do you have a crime?
Okay. You went to law school?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
And where did you get that? Where did you get that from? Where did you learn all that?
I've been studying for quite some time, trying to understand what's going on. I have a different perspective as to what's being said that happened. I'm understanding more the procedure that is necessary for a crime to go for them to bring a crime forward. I'm understanding that a bit more.
And where did you get that understanding?
I've done some Cornell law studies. I've also sat down with a couple of friends who have had some issues. I picked up wherever I could, just started to study the law. I just started to go back through Cornell law, started to figure out what was going on and to understand the nature of how crimes, what a crime is, and everything else. So just a course of me searching it out.
And you're citing Cornell law for all of that you just said to the court?
No, what I did, Your Honor, was I realized that one of the biggest portions that you have to have is you have to have the corpus delecti. And that is in when you're being charged criminally.
What is a corpus delecti?
What do you mean, what is the corpus delecti?
What is your understanding of what corpus delecti is?
That is the corpus delecti is the law that's saying that there is a crime that's being committed. So in order to do that, you have to show the corpus delecti, which is you saying this is what happened. This is how this person was damaged. There is no
the
person.
Officer on these dates, because I got a lot of them, said that
I object. I object. The officer works.
Don't interrupt me.
I apologize, Your Honor. I apologize, Your Honor. My apologies.
The officer says that you drove a vehicle that wasn't registered and wasn't titled, or titled and or untitled, that you drove without a valid driver's license, that you drove without valid insurance. Again, on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without a valid driver's license and no insurance. And then on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without unregistered or untitled or both, and drove without a valid driver's license, repeat offender, that you failed to have a trailer plate, and that you failed to secure a load on your vehicle. And on another occasion, on the same occasion that you failed to secure, that they allege you failed to secure the load, failed to have a trailer plate on your vehicle, that you didn't provide a valid driver's license. So those are the crimes. And in the state of Michigan, whether you agree or not, they are crimes. So based on your motion and all of that stuff you talk about, corpus delecti and things like that, the court denies the motion. Okay, based on those reasons that I just said. Now, how do you want to move forward? Because wait a minute, I'm not finished.
My apologies, Your Honor.
How do you want to move forward? Because in my experience, someone that comes into court, as you do, you do not want to take an offer. You do not believe that you need to have plates or registration or insurance. And you just disregard all of that portion of the law. And either you are going to move forward by having a trial, or you're going to take a deal. What do you want to do, sir?
Your Honor, first I want to put my objection on the record. And at that point,
whatever your objection is noted. What do you want to do, sir? Do you want a trial? You have two options: trial, or you want to take a deal.
Your Honor, I request a jury trial.
A jury trial.
A jury trial, yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Ms. Mathis, I need a jury trial date. Please.
And if I may, Your Honor, what time is Mr. Gray presently docketed?
I don't even think it matters, but I'll tell you. I don't think it matters. He's got the newer cases and the older cases are pre-trial at 8:35. Christopher Lamar Gray, and then he had some in warrant status. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cases into the record.
What did I tell you guys? Didn't I tell you guys that he took that whole law school thing as a compliment? You see, he went into the whole Cornell law thing And Judge Perkins had to prove to him, like, listen, you're bringing up corpus delecti, but the officers that are involved in this case, they absolutely allege that you have committed these crimes. And, you know, he got all proud and started talking about how he's been studying and so on and so forth, because I think he thought he had Judge Perkins in some type of jam, or maybe Judge Perkins recognized, you know, some type of good argument that he had, but that wasn't the case at all. Judge Perkins was just setting him up. And then we see Prosecutor Bowman and Judge Perkins have a little fun at Mr. Gray's expense.
You know what I want to ask Mr. Gray, and you can choose to answer it or not.
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I surmise and what I've heard, and I don't know if you're alleging the same thing, is that and you basically did allege the same thing, that no crime has been committed because no person has been, you know, the people of the state of Michigan are in danger of you driving without the proper documentation or anything like that. But I don't, and I'm gonna surmise, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you're gonna say that there's no jurisdiction to be able to pull you over because no one has been injured. Is that correct?
I think that what I'm saying is that the city of Detroit had an officer pull me over to say that you're not following these rules. And my stance is, okay, well, then that's fine. If we're following rules, then therefore, let me make sure that you as well as are following the rules, because if I don't do that, then freedoms are lost. So that is in which, that is the way that I proceed, to say, okay, well then, if we're playing cards and we playing show me yours, if this is your hand, then this is mine, and let's proceed accordingly to the law. That's it. That's my only standing, is if someone doesn't stand up every once in a while and define the edges, then they all disintegrate and people lose rights.
And you know something? With that being said, I would agree with you 1,000%. That's why I pride myself, and I hope I'm doing a good job for the citizens that come in here, and the police for that matter, and the prosecution, that I am calling the balls and strikes right. And if something doesn't proceed as it should, then I will dismiss the case one way or the other. But in my short time on this bench, and in my time at practicing law as a defense attorney, I get this, you know, they can't pull me over. I've heard the corpus delecti, first time the civil procedure has been thrown at me. But from the way I see it, is that you just don't feel that the police have a jurisdiction to pull you over for these issues. Is that correct?
Do I have again, Your Honor, what I feel is that if we are following rules, that if I have to follow the rules, and every person out there, all of these officers, everybody else has to follow the rules. So if it comes down to it,
what I'm gonna hope that you do by the time you come back on the trial date, jury trial date is gonna be March the 18th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're probably gonna have an audience, because everybody follows me on these cases all the time.
I understand.
All right, and I don't know if that's what you want, but we're gonna do that.
It's not that.
March the 18th, 2025. We're gonna have a final pre-trial date. Final pre-trial. This is to you, Mr. Bowman, especially the day before, on February 17th, 2025 at 8:30. So Mr. Gray and Mr. Bowman, Mr. Bowman, I need you to have all your officers appear on that date. Who's ever going to state these allegations, so that we know that we're not just summoning the people of the city of Detroit to a jury that's not actually going to go. So all parties must appear, and that can be via Zoom. And the trial is going to be in person. All right. All parties must appear on final pretrial date and obviously on the trial date. And what I would implore you to do is you need to figure out the right game, because it doesn't sound like you're playing the right game.
I understand, Your Honor. I appreciate, first and foremost, let me say, I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate you sitting here and engaging with me at this level. So I recognize what you're saying, and so yeah, I guess it's to the table we go. So
yeah, but get your game in order, because I'm just giving you a little heads up. If you come in with that game on the jury trial date, then more than likely you'll lose, unless you can find one of those jurors or a couple of those jurors, or even all of them, to have some sympathy for you, sir. I don't know.
I got a whole basis for understanding, and so yeah, if you know it.
Well,
it
that
is
basis that you outlined shortly today is not. What
was flawed in my what was flawed, Your Honor? What is
we
flawed
already
in
discussed it. We already discussed it. The federal rules of civil procedure that you brought up as a motion to dismiss, not the right basis. The corpus delecti, they do have a corpus delecti. They do have a crime that they say has been committed. And if you read the MCL, the Michigan court rules, and the Michigan statutes, then you'll see those crimes outlined there. They have them on the tickets. They got the statute numbers that are on the tickets. So that's not the right basis. So you're in a whole different ball game, and you need to come on to this ball game here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I guess we will have that discussion again. I appreciate it. I also want to say I recognize and honor your compassion that you sit on the bench with. I see it. As you go out here and you judge our people, and so for all of that, kudos, man. That's for where you sit. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I appreciate
Yes,
that,
sir.
Mr. Gray.
Yes, sir.
You have a
Yes,
safe
sir.
happy holiday season, sir. And
You as well.
best of luck to you. I'll see you back on March the 17th, 2025 at 8:30 for a final pretrial. And let me say this. Let me add to the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
If there's any motions, those motions need to be in writing.
10 days, within 10 days.
Let's put that on the record to a motion. Those motions need to be in writing. Have those motions to the court by February 14th, 2025. And the response will be February 21st, 2025. And I'll rule on those motions on the final pretrial date of 3/17/2025. Again, all parties must appear, Mr. Kaufman, all right?
I meant, listen, Judge Perkins made a great point in this case, and that's when do you hold yourself accountable for the actions that you've done? Like, why do you think it's okay to be able to ride around without any legal documents, any insurance to cover if you get in an accident, God forbid, and somebody gets hurt? Then you know, how does your theory work then? How does that person get paid? How does that person go to the hospital and take care of their hospital bills or medical bills after the fact? Like Judge Perkins made a great point, and he told him, listen, when you get ready to come for this trial, you better have a lot more evidence than what you have now, a lot better evidence, because if you don't, pretty much the same outcome you had today is the same one that you were going to get on that trial date. Speaking of appearances, we have his next appearance, which was his show cause hearing. So we're going to share that with you now. So let's go ahead and roll the footage.
All right, Mr. Harris, this is the city of Detroit versus Christopher Gray. Case number SP 1357945, counts 1, 2, and 3. SP 1191985, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1629749, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1267865, counts 1, 2, and 3. And appearance for the record, please.
Sheriff Harris, on behalf of Mr. Gray, please state your name for the record.
Mr. Gray's appearing. I'm here as a special appearance. Mr. Gray's appearing at pro se.
Okay, Mr. Gray.
Okay, strike that appearance. Thank you.
State your name, Mr. Gray, for the record, please.
By special appearance, I'm here to appear for Christopher Lamar Gray.
All right. Today is the date and time set for a show cause. Mr. Gray, you missed the court date, sir.
I apologize. I apologize, Your Honor. I made every attempt to get in. I didn't see my name on the docket when what I assumed was my date. So I don't know how I lost track of that. I do apologize, Your Honor. And
okay. All right. So your name is Christopher Gray. Is that correct?
My name.
That's what you just. Wait a minute. Let me just say what you just said. Let me just say what you just said. I didn't see my name on the docket.
I'm the trustee for the account. So for that.
I'm gonna call you Christopher Gray because that's what we're looking for. And then I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'm gonna give you a $0 bond.
Okay. Objection, Your Honor. I would like for the record, I reserve my right not to be compelled to perform on any contract, commercial agreement that I didn't enter knowingly, voluntarily, intentionally, and I furthermore do not accept any liability or compelled or otherwise for any contracts that I did not know that I became a part of because of a license or anything else, Your Honor. So I object, and for the record, the state can't be named a party in this suit. I asked that I put a motion before the court. I didn't get a ruling on that motion. I asked the court rule on my motion.
What is your motion? I haven't seen any motions. What is your motion?
I have a motion to dismiss, motion to strike.
And what is the basis for that?
The basis of that is there is no corpus delecti. The three components there are not those three components. There's only one of the three components here. Okay. The occurrence of loss of injury, that's not here. Whatever happened legally to cause or illegally to cause that loss, that's not here either. So of the three things, the third thing would be me being named. That's here, but the other things aren't here.
Okay.
So
is that all?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your motion is denied, Mr. Gray. All right, now I'm going to set this matter for a jury trial again. Let's see if we can get one quicker. Say that again?
You want to know if he ever had a jury trial?
Yeah, he had a jury trial set for July the 5th, but now it's not been set anymore, right? Let's get a date if we can get a date quicker than that. And for the record, I did not receive anything. Did you get the name? No, we don't check right now. I don't have anything in the file. We're going to check the mail to see if did you mail that motion in, Mr. Gray?
That motion, one moment, Your Honor.
The motion is denied anyway, but I just want to make sure that we didn't miss anything here. Ms. Mathis, you can check the email to see if Mr. Gray filed any motion.
Okay.
Again, Your Honor, I object. Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2 says that because the state has been named, in cases that the state is named, then in those cases involving ambassadors, public ministers, councils, and those in which the state has been named, those fall under the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. So that is my objection, and I put that on the record that if the state is being named, which the city of Detroit would be the state, then this matter doesn't fall in your jurisdiction; it falls in the Supreme Court.
All right. Well, you can put that in a motion or whatever you want to do, but I don't interpret the law that way, and your objection is noted for the record.
Well, I object to you ruling on. I object to you putting in a defense on my behalf. I didn't request that. I didn't put a defense on your behalf. You put in a not guilty, and I didn't plead that. So that's.
So you want to plead? You have two options. You have two options. You want to plead guilty, not guilty, or you want to stand mute. Three options. What do you want to do?
I stand mute.
All right, stand mute. And based on that standing mute, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. All right.
I object to the entering of a plea on my behalf, Your Honor.
Objection is noted on the record.
Thank you.
Well, I'm checking.
All right, let's pass the matter. I'm going to get another jury trial date, Mr. Gray, and we'll get you out of here. Next time you miss, sir, it's going to be a cash bond on you. I'll let you know that.
Understood. Appreciate your patience, Your Honor.
The jury. 16.
Let's do the fine 27.
You want to add another
We'll add 2, and we can add it to the afternoon docket, right? Hey, let's do it. Yeah. You know? Huh?
Because they want the people to be here at 9:30.
No.
Jury services.
We'll call. We'll put it on the afternoon.
But I don't know jury services.
We'll call them and find out. All right, let's pass the matter. We're gonna figure out this. We're gonna try to get this sooner rather than later, Mr. Gray.
Well, as we can all see, this is Mr. Gray's show cause hearing. He actually missed his previous court date, which we see Judge Perkins isn't really too happy about, but didn't take it too personal to where he held him in contempt, which I know some of you guys are going to say down in the comments he should have, but we see Judge Perkins poke a little fun at Mr. Gray for the simple fact when he said, listen, I didn't see my name on the docket. And Judge Perkins, rightfully so, said, listen, I thought you said you were appearing or you're here on special appearance. So which one is it? Are you here as a trustee or are you truly Mr. Christopher Gray, which we obviously know he is. But it just goes to show you that these guys are playing games. And even though Judge Perkins caught him out and got a good laugh out of it, what does he do? He still tries to go back to the script.
All right, you say the 27th. All right. Let's go back on the record with Mr. Christopher Gray. Let's go back on the record for Mr. Christopher Gray. Mr. Gray, I'm going to give you a jury trial date of May the 27th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Okay?
Your Honor,
let's say 8:30.
Your Honor, I think I have in Third Circuit Court a pending case.
All right. Well, what do you have in Third Circuit?
Issue with Land Bank.
You don't have a choice. You come to in person at 8:30. You've already missed the day. You don't have a choice. You have to figure it out.
Okay.
In person, sir.
Will do.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Still waiting on that appointed counsel, Mr. Lucy. We'll get you out of here as soon as they come.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's tell Mr. Gray, before you leave, Ms. Snyder.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you? I have Mr. Gray. He is appearing per se. We set a jury trial for the 27th of May let's do this. Let's go back on the record with Mr. Gray. Let's go back on the record with Mr. Gray. Miss Snyder, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Alexa Strider for the people, P80322. Is this Christopher Gray?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. No, this is Christopher appearing for the account of Christopher Gray.
He doesn't know. He's Christopher Gray at one moment, and he gets confused. Now he's Christopher Gray appearing on behalf
I am the trustee
trustee
for that account.
for that
Trustee
account.
for that account.
All right. So anyway, Miss Snyder, can you get your officers here on the 27th? Let's say the 27th is right after the holiday. I know that's short notice for your, it's a week and a half. I would like to get this done, give Mr. Gray his day in court.
I have a few points, Your Honor. First is I will not be here on the 27th. So I would have to ask that we not set a jury trial on that date. I wouldn't be able to get anyone to cover. So I could not have a jury trial. I would object to setting it shorter than the 2 weeks without having the chance to talk to the officers. If they were here in person or on Zoom, I could ask them, but I just don't know their schedules. They might be on furlough. They might have medical issues. And third, I would object to Mr. Gray representing anyone, be that an account or another person. Since he is not an attorney, he cannot represent anyone.
I'll rule on I'll hold your objection in abeyance, and I'll rule on them on another jury trial date. Ms. Mathis, please. June, the 10th can't be. All right, June the 24th. June the 24th, 2025. That's going to be in person. We're going to set a final pretrial date for the day before that, for June the 23rd, 2025 at 8:30. That's all the parties need to appear. They do not need to appear in person. You can appear on Zoom, but we want to make sure that at least we have some officers that are going to testify and to give testimony for the people to make see if they can not to make the out to see if they'll be available for the trial the next day, so we don't inconvenience the jury. So a jury trial is the 24th of June, 2025 at 9 a.m. And a final pretrial is going to be June 23rd, 2025 at 8:30. And that jury trial is going to be in person. And then all parties must appear for the June 23rd final pretrial date. Understood?
Is this for all of the charges on the docket, Your Honor?
This is for all the charges, except for the civil infractions. We're not entertaining those at all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And he had maybe some more. No, it's all, I think I've counted 10 and I counted 10 into the record. All right. Anything further from either party? All right, hearing no response, everybody
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, understood.
All right. Hearing no response, have a very good day and best of luck to you, Mr. Gray. And
thank you, Your Honor.
Well, we've come to the end of this third appearance by Mr. Gray. He told Judge Perkins that he filed a motion saying that the court had no corpus delecti. The motion was nowhere to be found, but either way, Judge Perkins told him whether we find it or not, the motion is denied. He's been given a new court date. It seems like this particular court date is in conflict with another court date he has. But what I want you to notice is something he said about that court date. Not only is it in circuit court, but what did he say? It has to do with a bank. And more than likely, 9 times out of 10, it's going to probably be credit card debt and some type of debt that he feels like he doesn't have to pay and that he's going to use the sovereign citizen script on. Hopefully we can find that. Hopefully we can find this new pre-trial that he's been given and jury trial date that he's been given. And if I find that, I will definitely share that with you guys. But Mr. Gray, it's just always the same old song. I don't see anything being different at the trial, but if we can find it, we will have it for you. But let's get ready to get out of here, guys. Thank you as always for joining me here on No One is Above the Law.